Okay, I'm just making this video because I never got to say my piece, and I don't think I'd ever get to say my piece on this, and I don't think I'm ever going to get the proof of what I've done and anything. But as some people may or may not know, I was recently removed from the partner program just under a month ago. It was on the 14th of September 2022, just for reference. And I got a message from one of the community managers on Discord saying, "Hi Vimyong, due to our recent findings and several complaints being made by other partners in the community, we no longer feel like you're a good fit for the partner program. Your current behavior across social platforms to attack other members of the community is not something we can ignore or tolerate. We will be revoking your partnership status with immediate effect due to the multiple occasions of misconduct that go against the pirate code and the code by which we hold all of our partners as representatives of the game and our values. Breaching NDA, participating in showing off the exploits of Sea of Thieves, overall toxic behavior and negative sentiment towards other partners and rare employees. Please note, as you are no longer a member of the partner program, you will also not be eligible to take part in this round of SoT TV. If we see a consistent improvement in your conduct and behavior, then we'd happily welcome you to participate in future events with the community. We would also like to remind you that everything you have been made aware of under your time as partner, including communications in the Discord server and calls with the team, remains under NDA with Microsoft indefinitely." So I sent a reply because I woke up to that message, and as soon as I woke up, I sent the reply saying, "I'd like to have an official conversation with somebody about this, please, because I do not see what I have done to warrant removal from the program when I've reported people for homophobia and given proof of NDA breaches and other things, and there has been zero repercussions. I do not attack other members of the community. I have simply responded when people have come at me. I would like to be given exact proof of why I'm being removed, please. I would simply feel like I'm being targeted because I do not have the same opinion as others. I have never attacked any other members of the community. I had 2 altercations on Twitter, one of which was someone also posting about me, and another with deckhands who have been judgmental, argumentative, and rude. I'm not going to leave this alone until I have total proof of why I was removed because I feel like this is totally unjust and unfair." Now, I was expecting to not get a reply to that message, but I did get a reply to this message, and it read, "While we understand you may have reported individuals breaking our code of conduct in the past, this does not excuse you from scrutiny when reports are made against yourself. Having received multiple reports with significant evidence provided, we are no longer comfortable giving you a platform. Our partner program should showcase the best of our creative community, so given the troubling and evidenced nature of the complaints we received, we cannot, with good conscience, continue to spotlight you via our official programs and channels." That never happened anyway. I was on SoT TV before I was a partner, and yeah, I was never in the partner directory, so I was never really spotlighted by Sea of Thieves ever. While we cannot speak to previous infractions from other players or partners, every case is looked upon and assessed along with the evidence provided, and we have to be absolutely sure before we take any form of action. Being a partner comes with the responsibility and expectation of upholding our code of conduct and pirate codes at all time. When we see that we have partners not abided by these codes, we have to act accordingly and in keeping with our values. Your figures are also not where they need to be to maintain partner status, and it would not be fair to others if we were to waiver that fact. We ask for a total of 10k views in a month. It's not 10k views, it's 10k viewed hours in a month, not 10k total views. And your channel falls far below that, and has done consistently over the last 6 months. Given this dip in numbers and no improvement shown in combination with your NDA and code of conduct breaches, our decision is final." So I replied, "I respect your decision. I'm not arguing to have my partnership reinstated. I'm just asking for evidence of what I have done and my NDA breaches. I'm not asking for any names, just to be given proof of things I'm being accused of and punished for. You may have been provided with evidence. You may have been provided evidence, but I have not. I do not need names. I would just like to be told what it is I have done. I know my figures haven't been great, but that is because of things going on in my personal life, which I'm not trying to claim as an excuse. You guys don't know about that, so it is what it is. I respect your decision is final, but it is also troubling that I have reported blatant homophobia before from a partner, yet you are still comfortable giving them a platform, and I have also given proof of NDA breaches and targeting of another community member from another partner, yet they have not been reprimanded. That is just a showcase of favoritism in my eyes because they pull bigger numbers than I, and there are also a few partners who do not cross the 10k viewed hours requirement. Either way, I'd like to thank Sea of Thieves and Rare for the opportunity. I'm grateful." So I didn't get a reply for a week. So it's been a week, and I still haven't been provided with evidence of why I was removed. Considering I was attacking other community members and breaking NDA, like I said, I don't need names, just proof. Also, I find it quite odd that I wasn't given any kind of warning after my first report. If it was a big deal, you would have thought someone would have approached me and told me to simmer down, but that didn't happen. I'm going to continue to ask for evidence since you said you had significant evidence. Also, it feels like, in my opinion, you didn't have as much evidence against me as first thought, because you then had to switch it around and make it about my stats and numbers also. That should have been included in the first message. The fact I'm being tossed aside and all I've been given is a he said, she said is highly unprofessional of you, the company, not just in my own opinion, but in the opinion of many others and even a couple of partners. I'm not trying to get my partnership back. I just want to be given proof of what I'm being accused of, because I wasn't even allowed to say my piece on the matter and I've been dismissed on a one-sided story. So, I didn't get a reply to this, and I expected not to get a reply from this, because that's what happens when you try and get answers from Rare. When I was originally yellow-bearded for a day, I tried to find out what I did, and I was basically just told to leave it alone. Disabled Chicken went through, he got a 3-day yellow beard for his ban, for his shit name, sorry, and when he asked, yo, how can I avoid this in the future? What have I done? They basically just said, stop messaging us, leave us alone, leave it. Highly unprofessional of the SoT support, and especially this coming from the community manager. But in the time frame that I have been waiting for messages, because all of those messages, apart from the last one, because I waited a week and then I replied again, well, it was just over a week. It was on the 22nd of September 2022 for reference, is when I sent that last message. But said community manager, and I have screenshots of this, which I'll throw up as well, the community manager joined my Discord and then left my Discord, and then joined my Discord again, and then left my Discord. But here's the thing. On the 18th of September 2022, the community manager joined my Discord, added all the roles for themselves, and then left. So they were obviously having a little scan through my server to make sure that I haven't said anything, haven't gone on a rant, and maybe done a little bit of an NDA situation, okay? And then they left. But then, on the 5th of October, 5 days ago, 5th of October 2022, again for reference, 5 days ago, 2 weeks after I sent that last message, they've joined my Discord and left. Why? I feel like this is ridiculously unprofessional, that I've been aired and ghosted by the community manager, but they feel the need and the right that they can come and spy on me in my Discord. I don't know what the situation is with that. I don't know what they're trying to achieve. I don't know what they're doing. That's just, to me, immature, unprofessional, and unneeded. It's a bit weird. But again, still being ignored. Once I saw that they joined the Discord and they left, I tried to send them another message, okay? I don't have that message, because when I did try and send that message, Clydebot popped up and it said this usually because you don't share a server or with the recipient, or the recipient only accepts direct messages from friends. I do have the end of the message because I took it screenshot on my phone and I was like, what the hell? And it says, because this is a terrible show of favoritism and I literally feel like I'm just being tossed aside by it because I'm a smaller following. I don't want my partnership back. Frankly, after this display, I wouldn't want anything to do with the company again, which is upsetting considering Rare has been a big part of my life since I was young, which is very true. But the fact I'm being thrown aside on a he said, she said, without proof and without giving my side is just wrong. I'd appreciate a reply and will not be letting this go until I get one. If I have to take this further, I definitely will. So, again, I couldn't send that message, but the community manager, for whatever reason, that was joining and leaving my Discord. And to show proof, I'll show a quick screen recording of me going from that profile in the Discord to the DMs, which I've also posted that I'll put on screen for this video. So the next thing that I want to do is to get onto the things that I'm being accused of and try and say like my side, because again, I haven't been given proof of any of this, and this is an issue for me. I asked for it, and even the proof that they could have given me without giving me anybody's names, they haven't. So they said your current behaviour across social platforms to attack other members of the community is not something that we can ignore or tolerate. So by that, I know what they're talking about. They're talking about my altercation that I had with Lazy Buzzard, and they're talking about the altercation that I had with Tamas, one of the deckhands. So to go into context with the Lazy Buzzard stuff, I'll go through that very quickly. The altercation that I had with Lazy Buzzard was I posted on Twitter, I can't remember exactly when it was, but I'll put a screenshot up, saying, if you have to clarify that you're not sucking up, you probably are. This wasn't about Lazy Buzzard directly. This was about a lot of people that I've seen on Twitter who, it doesn't matter what it is, they'll call it an appreciation post, or every single little tweet that they put out about Sea of Thieves, they will tag Joe Neat, John McFarlane, Mike Chapman, all the devs, community managers, Sea of Thieves' actual page, Rare's actual page. And the amount of people who said, I'm not sucking up, but after you say but, after any statement, everything that came before that but is irrelevant. I'm not racist, but I'm not homophobic, but you're a really great guy, but it doesn't matter. After that but, everything's erased. I completely stand by that statement. So I'm not sucking up, but you're sucking up. I'm sorry. If you take that personally, that's totally fine. That's on you, not me. I never tagged you in that post. I never named anybody in that post. I was called out for making it a cryptic post. Also, Lazy Buzzard has me blocked on Twitter, banned in his chat. He's got me blocked. So why is he still viewing my tweets? Unless somebody is giving him saying, "Oh, Vim's saying this." And the thing is, somebody has gone. Vim has said this about you. When I've said nobody's names at all. Lazy Buzzard took this personally and decided to start posting about me on Twitter and in the Discord. They didn't say my name out of quote-unquote respect. Well, Lazy Buzzard posted this. One, before I actually start to enjoy my holiday with my wife and our little girls, let me say this too. Toxic, bitter haters out there, go and seek some professional help. I feel sorry for you that you are so unloved and have to be so vile towards others. Two, from one individual bad-mouthing in my Twitch chat / TikTok videos to another individual who certainly does not deserve partnership, which he's talking about me, with the game I am so in love with. Very rarely I speak out about these things, but it hurts when you know something is 100% directed at you. 3, I am not a suck-up to the team at Rare / Sea of Thieves. Yes, I've befriended 1 or 2 human beings who work on the game, but I keep our personal and working friendships separate because that's what Professional does. I'm passionate about Sea of Thieves, but I don't suck up. Okay, so I just want to highlight to the toxic, bitter haters out there, and then says that I do not deserve my partnership. And then proceeded to go on stream and rant about me and talk about this on stream, in which he said the words, and I quote, this was a direct quote, I don't have a clip of this because he banned me from his Twitch chat, but I have friends, and they said, he's talking about you right now. And he said to me, grow the fuck up and educate myself. If that's not toxic or bitter or hateful, I don't know what is. So I screenshotted this and put it on Twitter. Because I was like, okay, if you're going to post about me on Twitter, I can post about you on Twitter. The difference is I didn't hide behind the anonymity of Twitter. I made it very clear who I was talking about because, again, I've been called out before. When I first made that post about if you have to clarify that you're not sucking up, then you most likely are. Someone said, ooh, cryptic tweets, that's not very good of you or whatever. I got called out for it. So I was like, okay, I won't do that again. I'll make it very clear about who I'm talking about. If he feels that he can go on stream and talk about me and quote my tweet word for word and then proceeded to tell me to grow the fuck up and educate myself. That's a direct quote that came out of Lazy Buzzard's mouth. So I posted this. Took those screenshots and I posted them on Twitter with the caption, it hurts when you know something is 100% directed at you, in quotes, because that's what he said and then did the exact same thing to me. So then Let's Drew This said something, and then he deleted his tweet, and I replied to it, and I said, if you only knew the whole story, he replied saying, true, I don't know the whole story, which is why I deleted my response in the end, but I would just expect partners to do better than publicly naming other streamers to continue the drama. This kind of behaviour just comes across as childish. That's all I say on the matter. Somebody replied, she shouldn't have anything to do with this, but it's Lazy Buzzard's wife, as it will become very clear, but I don't want to start putting up people who shouldn't be involved in the first place, but she decided to get herself involved. She said, what is the whole story? And then proceeded to say, this appears to have stemmed from you getting beat in a competition for a mental health charity. There are more important things in life than a petty little grudge on your part. Since you have had it out for my husband and it's pointless, he has done nothing to you. So I was confused. I knew what competition he meant, but it was Fleet Wars. They were talking about Fleet Wars. Chicken even said what competition, and then she replied saying Fleet Wars. So I replied to her saying, first of all, it has nothing to do with losing Fleet Wars. This tweet was to point out the hypocrisy in his statements, calling out toxic haters and in the same breath saying I do not deserve my partnership with no reason for it. Also, it hurts when you 100% know that something is directed at you. He is doing the exact same thing he is complaining about me doing. He's blocked me on Twitter and has for some time, so why is he still viewing my Twitter? I've also been blocked in his chat for some time. Then he proceeded to say on stream, grow the fuck up and educate yourself, after reading out a tweet that I posted a week before. So a week ago, so it was a week before he did that stream. But the VOD has since been deleted, because he deleted the VOD, which is why I couldn't get a clip of it, which is exactly why I made the post in the first place. I can make my opinion public just as he has. And I did. I made my opinion public, and people don't like that because they like the anonymity and the mystery that you can leave with Twitter. She replied with, "Fact of the matter is, you put out a cryptic tweet directed at my husband stating if you have to clarify you ain't sucking up, you probably are sucking up. This tweet was posted after my husband tweeted that he wasn't sucking up and the only person he sucks up to is his wife, when he was only showing gratitude to a game that had saved my husband's life more than once." I hate that line in specific, and I'll explain in a second. My husband put out a tweet standing up against haters and for himself, whilst never once mentioning your name out of respect. He screenshot his tweets confirming that it was my hubby. I did screenshot his tweets, and I did put his name out there because he didn't mention my name out of respect. But where was the respect when he was telling me to grow the fuck up and educate myself when he was reading out my tweet? There wasn't any. So I have none for him. He's shown no respect for me. I show no respect for him. That's what it is. And the game that has saved my husband's life more than once. People who use the mental health card are disgusting. In my personal opinion, I suffer with mental health issues myself. I have extremely bad PTSD. I have borderline personality disorder, anxiety, depression, and a couple of other things. I've got an adjustment disorder because of an accident that I was in early 2020. Just to brush over that quickly, I was hit by a car, I broke my leg, I was riding a motorcycle at the time, it was really bad, nothing to do with me, it wasn't even my issue, wasn't my fault, none of it was my fault. I'm still dealing with the physical and mental side effects of that. I'm on antidepressants, I take lots and lots of painkillers, and I don't use this as an excuse. So he said, I do not deserve my partnership, but leaves my name out, tells me I should grow the fuck up and get educated, but leaves my name out of respect. I'm sorry, no. And he's also putting out cryptic tweets, so what I've done in the process of showing it to your husband, I'm referring to, in turn, you have both confirmed it was me that he was talking about, but I'm not allowed to stand up for myself like he did. That was my point, because that happened. I made it clear that I was talking about him. She came in and made it very clear that he was talking about me. And she said he was standing up for himself. Why can't I stand up for myself against haters? Okay? That doesn't make sense. Everything's one-sided. Then, Buzzard decided to take to Twitter again and post one. Everyone, uninstalling Twitter and other social media for a few days. I'm on holiday/vacation and dealing with haters was not my plan. My tweet I put out this morning regarding individuals putting out cryptic tweets that were clearly directed at me continued. He has now resorted to calling me out by name, witch hunting/harassment. It's not witch hunting, it's not harassment. I was just saying, you have said shit about me, I'm going to say shit about you. You've made it very clear that it's about me, I'm making it very clear it's about you. My tweet this morning was in response to certain individuals, but anyone who has unacceptable behaviour towards others. But most importantly, I never once mentioned any names. So, my tweet this morning was in response to certain individuals. Well, anyway, I'm guessing it was meant to say wasn't in response to certain individuals, but anyone who is acceptable, I don't know. But most importantly, I never once mentioned any names. You don't have to mention names. That's not... Yeah, okay, I mentioned somebody's name. Is that such a bad thing? I don't think it is. 3, I tried to remind others to be kind, and I'm allowed to defend myself appropriately, just as I am. However, I'm not going to be harassed and witch hunted. I wasn't witch hunting him. Whilst I'm taking a holiday with my family, if anyone is being bullied, which is what this is, always know you can report. He's made very clear that he can defend himself the way that I can defend myself also. People saying that, like, a witch hunt, if you look at how many reactions he had on his post compared to how many reactions I had to my post, it would have been completely the other way around. So then Buzzard went into his Discord and said, Buzzard family, I need to talk to you about something important I'm currently going through. First of all, I will have no names mentioned on this matter. I'm not starting a witch hunt. I want everyone to be respectful on the matter. There's been some activity on social media that's been negative towards me. I blocked an individual a while back who I found out was badmouthing me in a private call. Again, somebody condemning me on a he said, she said situation. Since then, I have seen a few tweets that I suspected were directed at me, but couldn't be sure until said person pretty much quoted one of my tweets a few weeks back, implying I'm a suck up to Rare/Sea of Thieves. At the start of my original tweet to Rare, I said how I wasn't sucking up and that I only suck up to my wife. It was a tweet of gratitude, not sucking up. After seeing the tweets a person put out implying I'm a suck up, I defended myself by putting a tweet out and speaking against haters. I also discussed this on stream and how haters need to grow up. No, he didn't discuss how haters need to grow up. He actually called me out, not by name, but called me out and said, grow the fuck up and educate yourself. I also stated how said person does not deserve partnership with Sea of Thieves, which I still stand by after how I've been treated. However, I didn't want to mention their name and still won't mention their name. This individual then took a screenshot of my tweet and highlighted parts of it, tweeted it out. This has caused me to have severe anxiety attacks whilst I'm on holiday, to the point that tonight I felt suicidal over the thought of people not wanting to work with me anymore due to maybe thinking I caused drama. And I'm even worried how this will impact me ever being a Sea of Thieves partner. I've been made out to be the bad guy in all of this and just wanted to put my side of the story here. Tonight I feel like quitting everything and then some, but trying to stay strong. I've reported the issue through official means and won't take part in any further discussions on the matter. 2 issues with this statement. 1, the mental health stuff. You didn't have to go and check through all of this stuff. You didn't have to be made aware of this. I don't know who was making you aware of this unless you were actively looking. So, like I said again, people who use mental health as a sympathy card and use mental health as an excuse, as a get off the hook card, as things like that, it really, really irks me. Like I said, I go through these things myself, and yeah, I just don't like that being used. That is to try and make me look a lot worse. I'm not attacking you to try and make you depressed. I'm not attacking you to try and make you anxious. I'm not even attacking you. I'm putting out a post, same way that you put out a post. The only difference is I put your name on it. That's the only difference. But people, because I put the name on it, people think I have done something ridiculously disgusting and heinous. But he did the exact same thing. He just didn't say my name. And then the second part, I've reported this issue through official means and won't take part in any further discussions on the matter. I feel like someone at Sea of Thieves should have approached me and said, hey, there's been a report made about you. You might want to simmer down. Now, that isn't there because they'll usually say, we can't give you any information. We can't tell you what you've done because we want to protect the individual who made the report. I get that. You could have just turned around and said, look, someone's made a report about you. Simmer down, son. But you didn't. I just got left hanging. I didn't hear anything about it. So that was that altercation. That's the altercation with Buzzard. This is my side of the story. Am I in the wrong? Maybe. He's just as much in the wrong, in my opinion. If I've done wrong, then he has done wrong as well. The only difference is I didn't censor his name. Then the next altercation that we had was with Hamas, a deckhand. He posted a tweet saying, I have some more hate in my heart for those that had used that captain as their own excuse to be vulgar, a straw they grasped on a bit too hard. This was in reference to Quick Deckhand being removed. Obviously, the ban wave that rolled out with ship names and like puns on ship names sparked up the Rare needs to practice what they preach, and that Captain Quick Deckhand was a pun. Now, regardless of whether it was intended to be a pun or not, it was, and people would have known. Quick rhymes with Deckhand, okay, whatever. It's the last name of somebody, okay, but still, I can guarantee that somebody in that office has gone, Quick Deckhand, because it sounds exactly how it sounds. There's a reason why people screenshot that and post it when they saw it. But I replied to this because this actually affected one of my friends, Disabled Chicken. You may have seen some of his tweets about it, that he got a yellow beard and his a 3-day yellow beard and his ship naming rights removed because he called his ship Cork and Balls. Tamas did actually comment on and basically was there like, he's like, you're in the wrong here, you did something wrong. Another deckhand said, yeah, pretty pathetic of those people to drag something completely unrelated into the situation, try and use it to vend their own funny and clever vulgar ship names to the point that the team felt they needed to take this step. Very sad, really. And that was from Mike's, like LL Mike's LL, I don't know. Another deckhand anyway. This is an issue, in my opinion. These people are here to help the community, or meant to help the community, but they're promoting hate in the very game that they are hired by and are trying to defend. In a children's game, it's a kid's game. They're promoting hate inside of a kid's game. So I replied saying, hate is a strong word. Also, if you can complain about Cork and Balls, then Quick Deckhand should be no different. Stop being a hypocrite. I still do think it's very hypocritical of people thinking that names like Cork and Balls are not okay, but Quick Deckhand was fine. Regardless if Quick Deckhand was meant to be a pun in the first place, it's still a dirty pun, regardless, okay? It just is what it is. Tamas replied, it is a strong word used for that intention. Then I replied saying, don't address the hypocrisy or anything then, cool. And to hate someone over something that happened at a kid's game that doesn't even affect you, kinda sad fella. He replied, what happened to you, Vim? What on earth happened? How is that not the most patronising thing you've ever heard in your life? So I replied, That's not patronising at all, ... First of all, nothing happened to me. I've just started speaking my mind instead of being fear-mongered into not saying anything at the risk of being banned or my partnership being taken away. Second of all, I've always pointed out hypocrisy, like now, which I have. I've done it a few times. Like, that's the reason why me and Lazy Buzzard got into or not even me and Lazy Buzzard, really. It was more me and his wife. But, you know, and he said, no patronising intended, it's just very concerning. I basically said, how is it concerning? And he says, because you're the one coming in here asking me 20 questions game. If you want to talk about stuff, I'm open to do so. But this ain't the way to do it, man. It's coming on very aggressively, and it's not how I like to remember. So I don't have all of his replies. He blocked me. But I replied to him saying, not at all, you posted a motive statement. You should not be aggrieved if someone replies to you with an equally emotive response. Also, no aggression, just how no patronising intended from you. I'm pointing out the double standard and you simply don't care. Hypocrisy. So then he replied with, if you want to chat nicely, you know where. Twitter arguments are dumb. And then blocked me. I'm not going to hop into people's DMs off a Twitter argument or a Twitter anything. Why does everybody make a Twitter post and then go, DMs please? It doesn't make any sense. If you're going to post a public statement, don't be shocked and don't be upset when somebody makes a public response. You already put it out there. So I said, don't make public statements if you're not willing to speak in public. I've made my point. I'm done here. Then I had somebody reply to me, this other deckhand. He said, in your own argument, why on earth would you or anyone else think that it's okay to have names that sound like cock and balls and big dick energy as examples in a kid's game? Dickin is the last of the real, as the last name of a real person. It wasn't intended to be vulgar like those shit names. So this was in response to me calling it a kid's game and that he's spreading hate in a kid's game. So then I replied, humor is an eye of the beholder. I have zero issues with these names. Most kids won't understand them anyway. Kids' TV shows are a huge example of that. My issue was Rare was punishing people for making puns similar to ones already in the game. So again, I had no issue with any of the names. I had no issues with Quick Dickin at all. But it is, in my opinion, it is a practice what you preach. When I said kids' TV shows are a huge example of that, they are. Kids' TV shows, kids' cartoons nowadays. I have a 5-year-old son myself. I also enjoy some cartoons that are made for like teenagers and stuff like that. I'm a little bit of a nerd for that kind of stuff. I watched Adventure Time. I watched like Steven Universe, all these other different cartoons. They have many adult jokes in it for the older audience that are watching and enjoying that content, just the same way as things have been for a long time. It's been like that for a long time, all the way back from like the Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain days, all the way up to now, like in the 90s, you know, up to now. They're over 30 years. Comedy is, like I said, humor is an eye of the beholder. Because it is 100%. Me and this person continued to go back and forth, and it basically ended up with them turning around to me saying, "You don't care about hypocrisy. You're just trying to argue with people for the sake of arguing." Essentially, is what he said, which I wasn't. And then he said something about, "You're the kind of person who won't let anybody get the last word. So let's play a game." I have a screenshot of that. That, in my opinion, highly unprofessional, considering these are the deckhands that are meant to be there to support the community and help the community. He's also been very judgmental and has had altercations with Disabled Chicken in the past, and yeah, absolutely, in my opinion, disgusting behaviour. People probably think the same about my behaviour, but that is what it is. So, I don't know, it's the whole situation on that is very interesting. So that's where my reports would have come from. I know that much, and that's what they mean when I said I was attacking other members of the community. Now I know that was a bit long-winded, but I wanted to get all the facts out, show you all the facts that I could, and all the stuff that I do have, so I could preach my case, because everyone's been given a one-sided story, and I wasn't allowed or haven't been able to put out a statement or put out something explaining my side. And not only am I explaining my side, I'm also putting out the evidence to it, because no one ever puts out any evidence to anything. Then the breaching NDA is the next thing that they said that I've done. I know that the last bit was long-winded. I'm sorry, this video is going to be rather long. I've been given no proof of me breaking NDA at all, which is something that they can very easily give me proof of, while protecting the identity of the people who found me or reported me breaking NDA. Because all they got to do is provide me with the screenshot or the clip of me doing so. But they didn't. I've asked for it twice and tried on a third occasion, but they, blocked communications with me. So, didn't get any of that proof, if they have it or not. Participating in showing off exploits for Sea of Thieves. Again, I wasn't given any proof Again, an easy thing to be given proof of. They can give me the clip or the screenshot of me showing off an exploit and say, you did this. They don't need to give anybody's names, because I wouldn't be able to turn around and be like, oh, this specific person reported me for an exploit. And an issue that I have with this statement is a few of the partners who make YouTube videos have made videos showing off the exploits of Sea of Thieves. Like, most recently, the one I saw was Hitbo doing the flying ship thing at Morrow's Peak. I don't care if people say, oh, well, there's no advantage to it, or this or that. It's an exploit. Coop made a video on YouTube about the bucket glitch where you could put people into the brig. That was an exploit. I'm not going for Coop and Hitbo at all. May I just add, I enjoy their content. I have nothing, I've never had any issues with any of them personally. I've never even interacted with Hitbo, to be honest. I've interacted with Coop on occasion. So I'm not going for them, and I'm not trying to be like, oh, well, they're doing this, so I shouldn't be. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying other people do it, but they have a bigger following than I do, so I think that they get showed favoritism, which I'm going to go into a little bit more in a moment. And then overall toxic behavior and negative towards sentiment of the partners and rare employees. Now, the rare employees is obviously talking about the deckhands, and the partners. The partners are, I don't know. I wouldn't know. I've spoken about two partners publicly. One of them was a person that I was friends with, and then we had an altercation, and yeah, some stuff's happened. He said stuff, I said stuff. It is what it is, and that's just how it's gone. The other person is the one that I'm talking about, which I will give proof of. It was being homophobic, which I have video proof of, and we'll get onto that in a moment as well. So that's what they mean by the overall toxic behavior and negative sentiment towards other partners and rare employees. So that's fine. Then they go on to my figures, and this is where it gets really interesting, in my opinion, because it says we asked for a total 10k views in a month. It's actually 10k viewed hours in a month. I did hit that for a long time before I got partner. And then after I got partner, it wasn't long after partner that my life took a turn for the worst. And like I said, I became homeless and XYZ. I'm not using it as an excuse. Like I said to the community manager, it's like, I'm not using this as an excuse. This is it. But there are many people who don't fall under that. They don't and never have reached that point at all. But after becoming partners, it's not hard to get proof of this. You can go and look at Twitch metrics. You can go and look at Solino. You can go and all this information is publicly available to anybody who searches for it. It's not hidden. So you can go and see that. Again, I have nothing personal against these people, but when people turn around to me and say, oh, your numbers are terrible, then why can't you penalise these people as well? Why aren't it's again, it's either a show of favoritism or it's because they're quiet and I'm not. So again, people can think about that as they will, and everyone's going to say that I'm just being bitter. I'm not. I'm not bitter about it. I don't care anymore. Like for a couple of days I was kind of angry, but I don't care about losing my partnership anymore. I've said publicly as well on stream and to many people in my friends group that the only thing that I am really bothered about was losing private servers, because it was nice having access to the private servers. Apart from that, I really don't care. Partnership never did anything for me, and it hasn't done for a lot of people. What I want to say to this bit, well, next part is, so given the troubling and evidence nature of the complaints we received, we cannot with good conscience continue to spotlight you via our official programs and channels. This is interesting to me. They don't feel, and they said something about they're not comfortable giving me a platform anymore. So, like I said, I reported a partner for using homophobic words and kind of alluding to paedophilia, because the person that he was shouting at was like a 16-year-old boy. Now, obviously, he probably didn't mean the paedophilia-like situation, but the homophobia was definitely there. And unfortunately, I do have to name this person, and it is LD Silver. Now, a video was posted, I can't exactly remember off the top of my head exactly when it was posted, but a video was posted of him in arena, and this was before he was partner. In fairness, I say in fairness, like that helps the situation, but in said video, he's getting beaten in arena. It looks like he's being spawn camped, to be fair, but he uses homophobic slur. He uses the F slur, F-A-G-G-O-T. He uses that slur, and then he also says, suck my dick like your little sister did, which is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous, because he was getting spawn camped in arena. It was time ago. People say, oh yeah, but he may have changed. He may have changed. I agree. I 100% agree. He may not do that anymore. I also agree with that, but it still happened. I'm not one for cancel culture, and I'm not here trying to cancel LD at all. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying that is blatant use of homophobic language that he saw no repercussions from Or if he did, it was all behind the scenes, brushed under, and he still became partner after using homophobic language. So that's an issue itself. And I have the video, I have the clip, I'll play the clip.
Up front. Kneel down, you bot.
Suck my dick, faggot.
Whoa!
Did you off their anchor?
Kneel down, no skill cutlass user. Okay, strat, here.
Suck my fucking dick like your little sister did.
Alright, let's board.
Yo, how are you last place, dude? You gotta try to get last place in arena.
You're just a bunch of little wall-banging faggots. That's all it is.
I'm not trying to start a witch hunt or anything. I don't want anyone going after him, being like, you said that you did that, because again, it was a while ago, and he could have changed 100%. But how I see it is, if he does stuff like that just because he's not streaming and doesn't think he's being recorded, what's stopping him from doing it again? You know, that's my issue. When they say they're not comfortable giving me a platform. But I did report that when I first saw the video. I reported it, and nothing came of it at all. I didn't even get a reply from SoT support about the ticket. I'm going to go on to the favoritism that is showed by Sea of Thieves now, which is very, very clear, and it goes back to the ship name situation. If we look at it like this, again, I'm not coming for anybody because this is like, everyone's going to say, oh, you just come in for these partners because you've been removed. No, I'm not. I absolutely love Katie Pierce, right? I think she's an amazing, incredible human being, really entertaining streamer, and she's doing really, really well. She called her ship the Fugwit, and she got her naming privileges removed, but she didn't receive a ban. The reason why she didn't receive a ban, and obviously Chicken received a 3-day ban, and he lost his ship naming privileges. Now, the reason why Katie didn't get banned is because once you get banned, Yellowbearded, obviously Redbeard just removes you from everything because that's a permanent ban, but Yellowbeard in turn removes you from the insiders, and it removes you from the creator crew. So because of them, that in turn would have meant she would have had to be removed from the partner program for that ban. So clearly, Rare are going to show favoritism towards that. She called her ship the Fugwit, obviously alluding to fuckwit. They saw that as an issue. That's Rare's thing. You know, Rare can do what they want in that situation. What I do have an issue with is, again, not coming for anybody, but Foxdie's ship is called No Fox Given. No Fox Given, which is clearly a play on No Fucks Given. But that has been completely ignored. I think it's ridiculous. It's favoritism, it's hypocritical, and it's basically just putting certain partners over everybody else. But I'm still gonna try and get a response from Rare. I just want proof. I just want them to turn around and say, here's how you broke NDA. This is what you did to do an exploit. Obviously, the overall toxic behavior and negative sentiment towards other partners and Rare employees, and it says your current behavior across social platforms to attack other members. It's obviously talking about my altercations with Lazy Buzzard and Tamas. That's my side of the story. I know this video is ridiculously long. I feel like it has to be ridiculously long because I need to get my point across. I need to get a lot of points across. I feel like Rare just expect people to just hide and not say anything about the things. But I'm not going to do that, and I can't do that. So, especially because I haven't been given any proof, and I feel like this is a highly unprofessional way to do it through Discord DMs instead of through email. But that's just my opinion. Yeah, that's my side of the stories, and that's all I have to say. So.